3 years ago, I was down in $40,000 of debt. A year ago, I paid it off. I became debt zero. Now, majority of it was in educational loans and some of it was personal loans. And if you're like me and came here in Canada as an international student, you probably have the same system in place. Now, here are some things that I learned over the past 2 years of being in that stressful position of being in $40,000 of debt. Hopefully, you'll be able to take some lessons from it and apply it in your life. Now, the funny thing about this education loan, not a lot of people think about is when you stretch this amount over 15 years, it's not that big of an amount. But here's the part that a lot of people miss. Most loans or debt are front loaded. Meaning these systems are designed to squeeze as much money from you as possible. Meaning the first few years that you try to pay the loan off, the money is going towards the interest part of the loan, and a bunch of it later on will start going to the principal. So the longer that you take to pay this off, the longer the money will be front loaded towards the interest part of the loan. I was able to pay it off in 2 years because of a lot of it can be associated with December 2022, Government of Canada came in and said, you know what, we're having a labor shortage. International students can work more than 20 hours. And me at that time working as a cart pusher guy in the superstore, one of the biggest retail stores here in Canada, I was the very low part of the hierarchy. And my manager came to me and asked me that, hey, there's this overnight opportunity where you're the assistant department manager for the store, but it's overnight. And here's what I did right. Thank Lord. I said yes. I said yes to the opportunity. And here's something that I learned in the past that helped me a lot. Say yes to everything that happens in life. And that does two things. One, you capture that opportunity. Two, you develop a sense of belief that you will be able to figure things out. And that has helped me way more than I can account for. Now, the Government of Canada made that policy in my favor. I positioned myself in a space where I said yes, and imagine how stressful I'm pretty sure you can imagine how stressful it was, because I was going to work full time during the night, and going to school during the day. These I did for 2 years straight. Now, about the debt part, there are a lot of strategies out there that you can use to get to debt zero. But the strategy that I used was that save as much as humanly possible, spend as less as humanly possible, and this delta, pour all of that to the loan. Now that does two things. This front-loaded part of the loan, where the interest portion is what they focus on the first few years of your loan, meaning all the money that you send through are used to pay off the interest. So imagine this. When the amount is stretched over 15 years, that's how long the bank gives you to pay the student loan off. When you stretch it over to 15 years, you think it's not a lot of money per month. But by the time you pay that off in 15 years, it is significantly bigger than you ever hope it would be, because the interest compounds at the rate of 8.99%. Imagine that. Not a lot of people think this through. I sat down, did the math. So the faster you're able to pay it off, the less amount of money that you have to pay in interest, which means you can save a lot of money that you otherwise could not have just because you planned ahead. That is something that worked out for me. Now, the policy worked in favor of me. I was able to secure a job that kind of paid pretty well at that time in order for me to pay the loans off. But two things happened. Luck came in. I was able to capitalize on it, and I was able to work it through. Now, this is what a lot of people get wrong. When at the same time, a lot of my friends who came at the same time as me was presented with this opportunity, a lot of them spend money because I get it. A lot of money comes in. You don't know what to do. I didn't know what to do. And then you spend it on phones, you takeouts, and you upgrade your car and all sort of things. And I lived on peanut butter and jelly for the first 2 years of this period. It was shit. It was not fun at all. But then 2 years later, the amount of relief that I have now because I paid the loan off earlier is intense. That feeling is nothing sort less than intense. Now I was able to go on the offensive, which means I was able to start my business without the stress of having a debt on my head. And if I was able to give you a few takeaways from this video, focus on your debt, get to zero as fast as you can. That saves you a lot of time, money, effort, and energy, which is all good. When presented with opportunities, say yes and figure the other stuff out later. And trust me, it works because it worked for me. And my name is Evan Jason. I am the owner of ProsperaProperties.co. We are a small property management company focusing on landlords having 1 to 5 rental properties here in London, Ontario. And if you found this video to be useful, share it with somebody, and I will see you in the next. By the way, that was video 8. Good day.